Alright, Appendix D, your camp car rules compliance audit checklist. Alright, Federal Railroad Administration camp car rules compliance audit checklist. Compliance audit checklist, Title 49 Code Federal Regulations, Part 228, hours to serve with the railroad employee with record keeping and reporting sleeping quarters. Notes and instructions. Inspectors should give the checklist guidance for the conduct inspection camp cars. See the camp car rule compliance manual with additional information. Fill out the checklist. Check each box in Part 228 column after the section is completed. Check the appropriate box in the criteria compliance columns with a yes or no answer listed question. Give the notes area at the bottom of each of the page comments. Some of the regulation section are multiple requirements where these elements are not part separately identified. Subsection matches defective the codes identified as by decimal. For example, elements 228.309D. The sub-elements identified by these 228.309D1 and D2. In some cases, the elements are provided into separate blocks of the checklist. So your camp car rule compliance audit checklist, Title 49 Code Regulation, Part 228 hours of the shift of the railroad employees, record keeping, reporting, sleeping quarters. You have complies with yes or no, and date carried effective codes. Title 49 Part 228 done. Criteria yes or no defective codes. Alright, subpart 228.1c. The added language clarified the rules. Camp cars occupied with the maintenance of the way workers, in addition to the hours of service of the employees, hours of service of the employees who make the use of the sleeping quarters generally are understood to means of engineers and conductors. Interview with the manager, railroad contact, or determine the understanding of the camp cars occupied. Maintenance of workers are covered by this rule. Check. And then the scope, does the railroad provide camp cars to all classes of workers included in the scope? And that's yes or no complies with. And the defective codes is 228.001C, failure to provide compliant camp cars to all classes of workers included in the scope. 228.3, done, is in the done box. Certain type of the railroads expected, if they meet these conditions, if the railroad operate with the facility, any or none. If the railroad operates in tourist, scenic, historic, excursion operations, any or none. Are there certain types of railroads exempt? If they meet the conditions, and they meet the condition of the railroad operate only within the facility, is railroad operates tourist, scenic, or historic excursion operates, is rapid transit not connected to the general railroad system. And those are any or none. Railroad contact or railroad subcontractor for claims and improper exemption, compliance with the camp car regulation. 228.5, no criteria evaluated, definitions amended to add a new one. Subpart C, construction railroad provided sleeping quarters. 228.101, no criteria evaluated, section caption change only. And then it goes into the notes and then continues the subpart, Title 49, Part 228.102. Criteria, check if the determinant switching humping operation placard occurs with 1/2 mile with a camp car by observation. Measure the nearest rail to the nearest track of the switching humping operation performed with the point of the on-site with the closest exterior wall with the closest camp cars located. Are camp cars far enough to identify the operation, yes or no? The fact code 228.102, failure to locate the camp car at sufficient distance for the switching of the humping operation on placards. Subpart E, safety health requirements of the camp cars provided with the railroad sleeping quarters. 228.303A. No criteria evaluated 228.3B. 228.303B. Done or not. Contractor, subcontractor railroads provide camp cars so employ accommodations service related with the treated as they have been railroads respect with the compliance with the part. The contractor, subcontractor of the railroad comply with subpart E, yes, and that is yes or no. And then the defect code would be 228.303B, failure to contract, subcontractor, railroad to comply with subpart E. Alright, 228.305, compliant car must be provided with the December 30th, 2011. If the railroad provide camp car with sleeping quarters aimed at the employee with the maintenance of the worker, complies with all the requirements of this subpart, and then as in the box, this is overall defect with both contractor railroad supplied camp cars. If the criteria defined does not meet the needed requirements of overall defect will be cited. Failure defect would be failure to provide compliant camp cars. Notes. Title 49, Part 228.309A, done, or in the criteria, exterior should not have any flaws, penetration, fittings, the window, or damage to the compromised structure, ability to provide protection for the from elements. Visual inspection each of the camp car, ensure the building and envelope and intact with no breach of the camp car will expose the occupants to the elements, document flaws, written description with a photograph, car's ID, location of flaws, and each camp car is constructed in a manner that will provide protection against the elements, yes or no. Defect code 228309A, failure to maintain structural integrity of the camp car in such a way the occupant will be created, combined, protected from the elements. 228309B, visual done or not. Criteria: visual inspection each of the camp car floors. Are the floors smooth, tight construction, kept in good repair? Any yes or no. 229309B, failure to maintain smooth, tight construction floors. 229309C1, measure the inspect the windows, inspect the force surface at all of the windows, at least 10% overall floor of the dimension, include windows on all the doors, at least one half of which of the windows designed to open and the ventilation to the windows have coverings to reduce light during sleeping hours, all or any. And the defect code is 228309C1, failure to provide windows meet the structural requirements of the notes. 228309C2 is the done criteria. All exterior openings with an effectively screened with a 16 mesh material. All screen is equipped with a self-closing device. Or all exterior openings effectively screened with a 16 mesh material, 16 mesh window screen, and 16 wires per inch. All screen doors are equipped with self-closing devices. Yes or no, all or any. Defective code 238309C2, failure to protect adequate exterior operate open protection. 228309D, all steps, entryway, passageway, corridors providing normal entry on between the camp cars must be constructed with durable, weather-resistant materials and properly maintained. Are any of the broken, unsafe fixtures, components for the need of the repair replaced promptly? Are working surfaces constructed in durable, weather-resistant material? Walking surfaces properly managed material? All or any? 228309D1, failure to construct walking surface durable, weather-resistant material. D2, failure to maintain walking surface with good repair. 228309E, the minimum means of the emergency egress must be located at least two places in the camp car. Visually inspect each camp car for exits. Does each camp car provide at least two emergency exits? Yes or no. Failure to provide adequate means of the egress and indicate for the emergency situation. Notes 228, 309F. Each hatchable room of the camp car include a toilet room that provide with each for the to an occupant must be provided with the adequate lighting. Is in each of the pathway lighted with at least 1 foot candle. Each of the toilet shower room lighted with at least 10-foot candles. Are all other areas lighted with at least 30-foot candles, all or any? And then it's F1, F2, and F3. Failure to provide minimum 1-foot candle to the exit pathways. Failure to provide minimum 10-foot candle with the toilet and shower room. Failure to provide minimum 30-foot candle in other areas. Alright, 228309G, thermostat and the temperature control must be present in the camp car. Minimum 68 degrees Fahrenheit, maximum 70 degrees Fahrenheit must be maintained unless all occupants prefer otherwise. And temperature set will require the preferred range of device, the thermometer. Does the temperature match the setting, any or all? And that's 309G, failure to provide equipment to maintain temperature at least 68 degrees Fahrenheit during cold weather and no greater than 75 degrees and during hot weather. 309H, interview occupants, determine whether the disturbed noise during sleep periods. If occupant has noise compliant, perform noise measurement, determine whether the 8 value of the 55 8 decibels A for the 480-minute period during the facilities occupied. Does the noise secure with the source of the passenger car, camp car, generator set, other noise sources of the railroad's control? Has the camp car management conducted any of the measurements due within the level comply? If the railroad does measure and finds within the limits, and then that is yes or no, have ability to control the noise sources attributed to the railroad. 311A, perform prescribed measurement of the floor space per occupant, measure overall the dimension of the car length and width, and divided by 4. Does each of the camp contain at least 80 square feet of foot space for each occupant with a maximum of 4 occupants per car? Does each camp have at least 7-foot ceiling measure of the entrance of the car? All or any. Failure to provide 80-foot square of the floor of the occupant used for the sleeping purpose of the maximum of 4 occupant per car. Failure to provide at least 7-foot ceiling. 311B. Beds must be lateral spacing 36 inches non-partition occupancy, 30 inches of the rail-mounted modular unit, 36 inches highway trailer units, at least 30 inches end-to-end, at least 12 inches from the floor. Are the beds, cots, bunks, or they spaced properly? Are they walkable wall or foot lockers available, all or any? They're to provide proper space of bed, cot, and bunk under lockable storage. 228.311C determine the collective bargaining agreement addresses provisions cleanly linens or cleanly linens provided each occupant with a collective bargaining agreement. If no collective bargaining agreement applies, or cleanly linens provided for each occupant, any yes or no. Failure to provide clean linens each of the occupant. 311D, in the camp car where the occupants live and sleep with the cook of the store food, minimum 120 square foot floor space per occupant must provide floor space per occupant. Measure the overall dimension of the length and width divided by the number of occupants in any of the camp car, both sleeping and living quarters for the storing of the preparing food. Sufficient floor space provide food storage preparation area, cleaning, sanitary. D1, failure to provide 120 square foot place per occupant when used in cooking, living, and sleeping purposes. D2, failure to provide sanitary facilities storing prepared food. Alright, 313A, railroad must identify industrial recognized electrical standards G with electrical system installation, including the heating of the cooking, the ventilation, air conditioning, water, heating, and equipment. Did the railroad identify with the provided with a copy of the standard? Was the equipment installed with the conformance with the standard? And was the installed equipment listed and approved by any one of the agencies? All or any? Failure to provide a copy of the industrial and recognized standard of the request that's A1, A2, the failure to install according to industrial recognized standards A313, A3, failure to install approved equipment. 228.313B. Criteria using circuit test shell to check the random selection interior exterior duplex out and determine if they have proper polarity and grounding. Is the electrical system wired properly? B. Failure to have the properly wired electrical system according to the industry recognized standards. Failure to provide a copy of the standards unit upon request for the FRA. Alright, 313C. For each occupied camp car, it must be equipped with the service safe of the working heat, ventilation, and air conditioning system. A camp car equipped with the service of the working AVAC system is required. System labeled 1 of the testing labels, laboratory approval labels 228.13.3A. Yes or no, all or any. Failure to C. Failure to equip each for the camp car with safe working HVAC system. 315, inspection exterior of the camp car with the entry of the points of the rodents of the vermilion at any hole of the coals, cracks or gaps of the 1/4 inch of the size of the larger, any sufficient rodents to enter with the inspect of the interior of the camp car with the evidence of the inspection and harborage of the rotor. Each of the camp car constructed equipped to maintain and prevent the entry of the harborage of the rodents and inspection of other vermin. If the evidence of the infestation of the rodent instituted and by continue effective extermination program. All or any A1 failure to construct equipment to maintain camp car to prevent and hinder for the hammer, harborage of the rodents, inspection of other vermin, failure to institute continuing effective examination program. 317A, does each camp car have the proper number of the toilets? 1 toilet per each 2 occupants. Failure to equip each camp car with the proper number of the toilets. Each toilet room must occupy a separate compartment with the door with the latches of the walls per participants between the fixtures to ensure privacy. Do toilets comply? B1, failure to provide a properly constructed toilet. Criteria. 317C1, adequate supply of the toilet paper must provide with each of the toilet room occupants involved in toilet paper provided as required. C1, failure to provide adequate supply of the toilet paper in each room. 317C2, each toilet must be kept clean, sanitary condition clean regularly with the camp car being used. In case of the non-water carriage toilet facility, it must be cleaned with change regularly with all the campus being used. Each of the toilet clean with sanitary condition. Each toilet is cleaned regularly with the camp car being used. Non-water carriage toilets clean and change regularly with the camp car being used. C2, failure, all or any failure to maintain toilets clean or sanitary condition when camping being used. 317D1, any sanitary sewer line, flood drains of the camp car toilet facility must be connected with this public sewer where available, particularly with the holding of the tank is empty with a sanitary manner. Where there's available sanitary sewer with a close proximity with the camp with a particular means of the making the connection or sanitary floor drains connected. If not, the holding tanks disposable toilet waste and grade was emptied in sanitary manner. And that's any yes or no to connected sanitary loons, floor drains, public sewer holding tank. Failure to employ at D2, 1, 2, failure to empty holding tanks in sanitary manner. Alright, 317D2, the sewage disposal method must not endanger the health of occupants if the sanitary sewer connection is used to inspect the connection line with the leading to the integrity, make the note of the photograph of any leaks. Holding tanks are used on the inspection line connection. Each tank of the leaks does the sewage deposit method to prevent the escape of the sewage code in danger of the health of occupants. And that's 317D2, provide a disposal method to protect the health of the occupants. 317D3, if the tanks are used for the sewage disposal, all tanks connection with the constructed manner to prevent vermin for the entry of the odors escaping the camp car. Or tanks of connection constructed in the manner to prevent vermin from entry of the doors escaping from the camp car. That's yes or no. D3, failure to contact the toilet facilities holding tank in the manner to prevent vermin entry odors from the escaping from the camp car. 319A, each of the camp car saloon must contain at least one functioning lavatory for each two occupants. The lavatory means a sink down a toilet. Are sufficient lavatories provided? Yes or no. Failure to provide proper number of functioning lavatories. 22839B, each lavatory must provide with a hot and cold running water when tested water treatment or ran or number of lavatories. Each lavatory provide a hot or cold running water. That's yes or no, and that's 319B, failure to provide hot, cold running potable water lavatory. Or determine the CBA address for the provision of the hand soap. The hand soap provided with the CBA, but if no CBA collective bargaining agreement applies, then the hand soap provided is failure to provide hand soap. Determine the collective bargaining agreement address and the means of the hand drying. Hand drying provided each laboratory with a collective bargaining agreement. No collective bargaining agreement. Hand drying provided each laboratory failure to provide means of the drying. Each of the camp car, each of the suite must contain at least one functioning shower. Each of the two occupants are sufficient showers provided. That is yes or no. A, the failure to 321 failure to each of the camp car provide proper number of showers. 321B, shower floors must be constructed in non-slippery material floor drains designed. Remove wastewater facility cleaning all junction with the curbing floors sealed in that fixed gate rate. The instrument on the shower floor is significantly hinder with the cleaning of the shower floor with the drain or shower floor non-slip. If shower floor drain present, or shower curbing floors junction properly sealed, or if shower floors drains constructed permanent cleaning with no fixed gates or interfering with the cleaning. And those are all there any failure. B1, failure to construct the shower with a non-slippery material, failure to provide floor drains in the shower facility. B3, failure to seal the junction curbing each shower facility. B4, failure to provide adequate cleaning of showers and floor drain. Alright, 228, 321C, of the wall of the portion each of the shower room with a move smoothly and perfectly with the height of the splash. Height of the splash is generally 72 inches above the shower floor with the 3 inches above the shower head, whichever the higher. All walls and portions of each shower are properly constructed with the correct tiling. Yes or no. C, 321C, failure to provide smooth and impervious wall for the portions of each of the shower height of the splash. 321D, adequately supply hot, cold, running potable water provided with the showering purpose and of the water temperature of the random number of showers. As each of the provide with the hot and cold running water evaluation supply system, potable water must be determined. The evaluation complying with the 228, 323. 321D, failure to provide hot, cold running potable water and shower purpose of 321 E1 and 3. Determine the collective bargaining agreement address the provision of cleaning agents and cleaning towels. Inspect each of the camp lavatory speaking occupants. Determine that have adequate supply of the cleaning agents towels. Each shower to provide with the cleaning agents cleaning towels per collective bargaining agreement. If no collective bargaining applies, each shower provided with the cleaning agents and cleaning towels are convenient to you. Are they convenient to the showers and E1, failure to provide appropriate cleaning agents. A3, provide in each occupant with a cleaning towel. Other should power 321's E2. The other showers provide with a hot, cold feeding of the common discharge line with the means of the shower head with the fixture of the mix of hot and cold water. To provide hot and cold water feeding common discharge line. Complete evaluation result of 228, 323 when it must be done with the answer to the question. Potable water, adequate convention. Provide all occupants of the camp car drinking, personal oral hygiene, washing person, cooking, washing food, washing, cooking, eating utensils, washing, permits food preparation process. A1, provide potable water in each camp car. Open compatible containers, pails, tanks, drinking water from waters being dipped, poured, and not filled to fitted with a cover that must be prohibited doing the observation interviews of any of the containers are used. All containers used for providing potable drinking water of the construct of the banner of the prevent contamination not open for such barrels and pails. Open top tanks. A2, failure to provide potable water in appropriate containers. 323A3, common drink cups. Other common utensils will not be used. Documents determining the common utensils are used by observation interviews. All drinking cups or other utensils being used. Documents. Consumption of portable water individually issued, disposed, or cleaned between uses. Yes or no. A3, failure to provide individual cleaning cups and utensils used for the potable water. 323B1, portable water provided with the bottom must be stored in a manner of the recommended supply of the prevent contamination storage. Bottled water must not be provided in a substitute with a hot and cold running potable water, lavatory showers, and sinks. Bottled water might be labeled with identified packages stored for the water. Bottled water is provided. Bottled water is started manually recommended supplier. Hot and cold running potable water, showers, and sinks not replaced by bottled water. Bottles are containing labeled identified package over the source of the water. All or any, if or yes, B1 failure to provide bottled water according to the supplier restriction. B2 bottled water provided with a substitute with hot, cold running potable water, lavatory, shower, sinks. B3 bottled water is not properly labeled. R323B2 drinking water for the local water system must be drinking water standard with established in the Environmental Protection Agency under Title 40 CFR Part 121. National Primary Drinking Water Regulations as a source supply, yes or no. B2 failure to provide potable water meet the drinking water standard established U.S. Environmental Protection Agency under Title 49 Part 121. Non-primary drinking water regulations. Alright, let's pause for a second. Alright, 228, 323B6. Each different local source potable water must be certified by even the water quality with the EPA Title 40 Part 141. This can be done with either by obtaining the certificate of the state local health authority reasonable to the source without having water tested, certified by EPA certified laboratory certification source must be kept with the CAM with the duration of the connections terminated. Copy of each of the records must be submitted. Properly centralized railroad location maintained 1 year of the day of the termination occurred. Does the railroad have certificate of the current portable water source? The current certification available in the camp. After connection terminated, is a copy of the submitted of the program of the certified location of the railroad. Copy of the record maintained 1 year of the day of the connection was terminated. Yes or no, and any. B61 failure to retain certificate of the state local health department. B2 failure to maintain and sign the dated record of the camp of the duration of the connection. B63 failure to submit the record centralized location upon termination. B3 22832 B3 all equipment construction use the portable to cam the water system hose nozzle backflow prevention must be approved. Food Drug Administration of the system comply. B3 failure to use the system equipment approved with the Food Drug Administration. 323B4. Each potable water drinking hose nozzle must be inspected for use. Each hose nozzle cleaned and sanitized as part of the inspection. Signed date of the inspection records must be kept in the camp for a period of connection. The terminated copy of the records must be submitted promptly. Centralized railroad location maintained for the 1 year after the day of the termination. Have all the water hydrants, hoses, and nozzles been supplied with a potable water to the camp car, been inspected before use water. All the nozzles and cleaned, sanitized as part of the inspection. A record inspection available are the records signed and dated up to the day of the current connection. Have copies each of the records supplied with a promptly centralized location railroad after the connection was terminated. Are copies each of the record maintained 1 year of the day that it was determined. Terminated, yes or no, all or any. Failure to provide inspected hydrants, nozzles, proper use, failure to ensure that equipment cleaning and sanitary inspection. B4, 3, failure to maintain current signed and dated record inspection. B4, 4, failure to submit copies of the connection records of the centralized location of the railroad. B4, 5, failure to maintain records of 1 year after termination of the connections. Alright, 323, B4, B5, for each individual permitted to fill with the potable water system has been trained to the training with the approved of the inspection cleaning of the sanitizing hydrant hose nozzle. Use fill potable water system approved the procedure to prevent contamination of the water during the water correct method of the base sanitizing solution. Yes, and all and any of the failure at B5 it is failure to adequate train with the individuals who fill the potable water system. 323C1, potable water stored sanitary to prevent external contamination entering the potable water supply. Any relief valves, air inlets, vent lift with filters. All or any C1, 323C1 failure to store potable water sanitary containers are properly protected. 323C2, potable drinking water dispensing design, constructed surface with sanitary conditioner maintained, are dispensable capable of being closed and equipped with a tap. All or any C2, 323, C2 failure to maintain potable water dispensing sanitary operable state. 323C3, all distribution line capable of supplying water sufficient operating procedure for the tap, all taps normal simultaneously operation. All or any failure to ensure that the distribution supply can supply water at sufficient operating pressure. 323C4, each of the potable water drained with the flushing of the disinfection solution at least once every 220 days. I have a record of the last 2 drain flushing cycles maintained. The records contain the date of the work and the name of the individual performing the work. The original record maintained with the camp, or the copy of each of the records signed with a centralized location railroad maintained for the year. All yes and all or any. C4A1 failure to drain the flush potable water system at least once every 120 days. C4A2 failure to maintain the record of recording information. C4A3 failure to maintain the record of the camps required. C4A44 failure to transmit records to centralized location. C4A5 failure to maintain record of the centralized location. 323C4 1 through 3. The solution of the flushing of the disinfection must be 100 parts per million of the volume of the chlorine solution. Copy of the flushing procedure available. The solution flushing disinfection at least 100 parts per million by volume. A solution held with 1 hour in all the parts of the system. Chlorine purged of the system, complete refilling the draining of the fresh potable water. Yeah, and C41 failure to flush and disinfect the solution with the proper concentration. C42 failure to hold the chlorine solution with 1 hour to ensure the disinfection. C43 failure to purge the system adequately. Hard draining flushing must be done frequently, and if occupant report the taste and the health of the problem associated with the water following any of the plumbing of the reviewed, proceed with the set forth and report the highest taste of the health of the address. Ask the person responsible for maintaining the potable water system how often the flush is done with one of these reasons. Ask the person responsible how long after the reports of the flush procedure initiated is the system to drain and flush properly after the health or taste problem reports after yes or no. 223C4 4 failure to perform draining flushing associated with the problem reports. 228 to 323C5 water samples must be sent to a laboratory for testing bacteria. Reports of taste and health problem have sufficient number of the samples for each of the tap dispensing locations system and collected. If a single sample fails to heterotrophic plate content, the railroad must drain the flush system within 2 days to return it to service. Was drain flush done? Was it done within the 2 day from time receipt with the lab results? 323C5 1 failure to perform potable water sample. The remediation required sample that fails the heterotrophic plate count. Alright, 323C5. If the single sample failed the total of the chloroform test, the railroad must drain the flush of the system, resample the system, return to the surface only with the lab outcome of the negative of the chloroform test. Was drain and flush done with the resampling lab test done with the sample returned with the surface only with after the draining flushing was completed. That's yes or no, all or any. C5 2. Failure to perform potable water sampling remediation record and sample that fails the total chloroform test. 223C5, the simple sample that fails the fecal chloroform test, where it must drain the flush of the system, resample the return the system only with the lab outcome negative of the chloroform test. Was drain and flush done with resampling less stable lab test done. Was the system turned to the surface only with after the negative lab result? And those comply with the all or any. C5 3 failure to perform potable water sample the system remediation required sample that fails fecal coliform test. Alright, 323C6. All laboratory reports of by obtaining the water system in the camp car must be maintained with the camp car while connected to the same water source. Have any laboratory testing have been done with the current connection? Yes. If the aim of the following and no, go to the 228, 323D. Have all the reports that have been posted for the required time? Have they been posted within 15 days of the receipt? Have they posted on for at least 10 days? Have they been sent to the centralized location of the connection was terminated? Have they been maintained for a year? Yes or no, all or any. C 223C. Failure to perform the record reporting procedure for the required. 323D. If any of the water outlet passes over the camp car facility supplies water not with a portable source of the potable source of the supply through other systems not maintained to recover the outlet faucet must be labeled with a sign visible to you with a message for the following effect: with the water is not suitable for human consumption, do not drink the water. Any of the water outlets for this faucet of the camp car facility connected to the portable water source. Portable water supply with a supply with not maintained with the part of the section. If the both no over the 228, 325 is either yes or answer the following. Are water outlets the faucet dispense non-waterable system properly labeled required? Yes or no. 323D failure to identify the non-potable water outlets are required signs. 325A there be no food beverage to be stored within the toilet room in any area exposed to toxic material. Other occupants allowed to consume food and beverage in the toilet room. Or no occupants may be allowed to consume food or beverage in the toilet room. Everything area exposed to toxic material is storage of the food, beverage of the toilet room in the area exposed to toxic material clearly prohibited. If the consumption of food, beverage in the toilet room in any area exposed to toxic material clearly prohibited, all or any. 325A failure to maintain sanitary conditions of food storage, food and other beverages stored over the toilet area exposed to toxic material. 325B failure to maintain sanitary conditions, food consumption, food and beverage consumed in the toilet room and exposed to the toxic material. Alright, 325C 1 and 2. Does the railroad contract the subcontractor provide central dining operation with the camp car? Yes or answer for the no. For the 228, 329A, the food handling facilities maintain a clean sanitary condition. All food preparations are disinfected after use. Are the disinfectants removed and prevent food alteration? Yes or all or any. C1 failure to maintain cleaning of the sanitary condition food handling facility. 325C 1 2. 1. Failure to disinfect the food preparation surfaces after each use. For each 325C1, 2. Failure to remove chemical disinfections. 328, 325C2. All perishable foods must be stored either under refrigeration or in freezer. All perishable foods stored either in a refrigerator or freezer. Does the refrigerator or freezer have temperature ranges? All refrigerators must be maintained at 45 degrees or below. All freezers maintained at 0 degrees or below. The temperatures maintained. The temperature of the range is specified. 325C3, a non-perishable food item that must be stored with a vermilion inspection investigation. Stored location with a cabinet feed in the holes of the gaps. Other occupants permit entry of the mice and bugs of the storage location. All and any food is stored with a non-perishable food item with a vermilion inspection. The storage location of the cabinet of investigation, such as lead, live dead bugs inspection, eggs, egg droppings, mouse droppings, any or all C3 failure to stir perishable food items to prevent germ, vermin, and insect infestation. Alright, 325C412. All food waste disposal containers must be constructed to prevent vermin and infestation. All food waste disposal containers used within the camp car must be emptied after each meal, at least every 4 hours, whichever is less. All food waste disposal containers used outside of the car must be located to prevent offensive odors entering the sleeping quarters. All food waste disposal containers intact, fitted with the covers to prevent infestation, are the containers empty with the required time frames. Or any outside containers located to prevent offensive odors from the entire sleep camp cars, entering sleep cars. C4, failure to utilize properly constructed food waste containers. C4, failure to empty food waste containers required. C4, 2, failure to locate food waste container appropriately. 325C4, 3 and 4. Air the kitchen sink with the floor drains connect with the public sewer, yes or no? If not, yes, to prevent release of any sewage. If no, if the kitchen sink with the floor drains connect with the holding tank, yes or no? If the yes, answer the following no with 228, 325C5. Is the holding tank empty in a sanitary manner? C4, 3. Failure to connect the sink with the drain with the public sewer if the available holding tank will be empty within the sewer. And 325C4, 4. Failure to maintain the sewage disposal method that does not endanger health or occupants. 325C5. The same with the sleep camp kitchen. Have the kitchen, dining hall, the same car, sleeping quarters. If yes, answer for the following no. With the 228, 325D with the closable door between the living and sleeping quarters with the kitchen, dining hall. 325C5. Failure to maintain closable door with the living and the sleeping quarters with the kitchen, dining, and the hall car. 325D1. All food served at the facility the operating must be carried out with according to the sound hygienic principles. Is the food free from spoilage of the food process, the prepared, handled, the store protected against contamination? 328, 325D with failure to carry out the food service operation on the sound hygienic principle, the defective code used to have any with the 229, 325A, 325C as well with the 325D2 with identified with it being non-compliant. 325D, no person in disease communicable with the contact with the food preparation item employed with the permitted to work with the preparation, cooking, serving and handling food stuff, the materials in which you, the kitchen and dining facilities are operated in connection with a camp car. There is a potential very sensitive and discreet, but not relatively findings to anyone in the camp. Consult with the office of the chief of the council medical record director before issuing the effective finding. Do you the checklist to document compliance? D2, failure to ensure that no person communicable disease works in the food service dining hall operated in connection with a camp car. Alright, 228, 327A. All sweepings, solid liquid waste, fuels, garbage, and camps must be removed in such a manner that avoid creating a menace to the health as often necessary, appropriately maintain the sanitary condition. Waste and garbage being removed in a timely manner is the schedule. The minimum time frame established by a camp to remove the waste is the schedule being followed. Yes or no? 327A. Failure to remove all the sweepings for solid liquid waste, fuse the garbage in such a manner to maintain sanitary conditions. 327B, exterior waste receptacles must be constructed to do not leak anything through the clean and maintain the sanitary condition. Our waste receptacles equipped with a solid tight-fitting cover, or can waste receptacles maintain the sanitary condition without a cover? Or damaged leaking containers repaired, replaced, or damaged, and or yes or no? 328, 327B, failure to construct an exterior receptacles using multi-respectable solids, liquids, and required by this part. Alright, 228, 327C. Are there adequate number of food and waste disposal centers, containers present? All the containers constructed with smooth, corrosion resistant, easily cleanable disposable material. If the paper containment is removed the outside storage more frequently, for example, after each of the meal period, or all the containers are non-disposable, fitted with the proper cover, the number, serve, the location of the receptacle is adequate with the intended use of the population, serve that made it emptied regularly, are they maintained clean, safer than sanitary condition, yes or no? 327C, failure to provide adequate number of clean, safe, and sanitary waste receptacles with a solid, tight fitting cover for each of the cam car. 329A, each of the cam car kept clean with the extent of the allowed with the nature of the work performed. The occupants of the cam car, does the occupant have tools supplied to keep the spaces clean? And that is a yes or no. 329A, the failure to maintain the cam car cleaning condition, extent of the allowed with the work performed. 328, 329B, to facilitate cleaning every floor of the workplace, passageway may be kept free with the protruding nails, splinters, loose boards, and unnecessary holes opening. All workings are for the well, good shape, and free of prohibited flaws. Yes or no. 329B, failure to maintain workspace, passage free of the board, protruding nails, splinters, loose boards, unnecessary holes, and openings. 328, 331A and B, adequate first aid that must be maintained with the made available the occupant, accompanying camp car emergency treatment of the injured person. Each camp car had a first aid kit within with a weatherproof container. Does each of the kit individual sealed packages for each of the items required? Does the kit contain the number of the items required? Is the kit checked with at least weekly when the camp car is occupied and ensure the expanded items are replaced? Yes or no, all or any failure. 331A, failure to maintain an inadequate first aid kit is required. 228, 331B, failure to maintain adequate first aid is placed in weatherproof container with individual sealed package for each of the item. Checked at least weekly. Failure to maintain adequate number of the first item required by this part. 228, 331C, are sleeping rooms equipped with the type ABC fire extinguisher, and are all sleeping rooms equipped with a functioning smoke alarm, the carbon monoxide, and combined with a smoke or carbon monoxide alarm? C1, 381C1, failure to equip a sleeping room with a affordable type ABC fire extinguisher. C2, failure to equip each of the sleeping room with a functional smoke CO2 alarm. 228, 331D, does the camp car consist of the emergency preparedness plan? Does the display with the location of all occupants of the camp car consist of the view of any of the convenience? Does the plan contain information addressed to each of the emergency situation required? D1, failure to display the emergency preparedness plan in each of the camp car consists of D2, failure to emergency preparedness plan adequate address for the subject required. Alright, 228, 333. How will the railroad receive the goods to pay the non-compliant with yes or no? Yes or the answer of the following no. But the 228, 335A, have the railroad properly respond with a good faith notice for the non-compliance required with identified with the conditions correctly within 24 hours notice, or with the car taken out of the 24 hours notice was the condition of the search for the required provisions alternating arrangement? Yes or no? If yes, answer the no-go. And now go to 228, 335A, where the occupants provided alternative arrangements. Yes or no? Defect codes 333A1, failure to take remedial action, corrective non-compliant conditions with the required time and frame. 333A2, failure to provide alternative accommodation food service while remedial actions are completed. 335A, the record railroad keeps the records required with the 228, 323 on paper. The forms provided with the railroad or by electronic means conform the requirements of Subpart D of this part, and or yes or no. Failure 333, 5A, failure to keep the record with each of the paper and form electronic means some form with the requirements of Part D of this part. 228, 335B, all records made available to FRA required local records kept and displayed in the camp. 228, 335B, failure to make records available to the Federal Railroad Administration as required. And actually, I want to just go over this one little thing real quick here. Like it says, where was it at? It's a railroad. Certain types of railroads are exempt if this meets the conditions. Does it operate only within a facility of the railroads? Operate with the tourist, scenic, historic excursion operations, and the rapid transit not connected to the general railroad system. So, Parish, you're exempt. You're exempt by 228.3b. Let me write that down. FRRM is exempt, so it's Title 49 CFR 228 3B. Yeah, I want to kind of rent a stay down there in a camp car maybe. That'd be cool.